In this video, we're going to attempt to give you some more information about the selling process. One of the first things I want to do is just explain that we've made this a no-brainer decision and as risk-free as possible. So with that said, what I normally like to do when I give a listing presentation is to kind of start off basically explaining what normal traditional brokerages do and then what we do differently to kind of separate ourselves. So with that said, if you've ever sold a home through a realtor or a real estate broker, the process is real similar. However, in the business world, business brokers tend to make 10% commission or higher. They also have minimum fees, and those can be $10,000. In other words, if you're selling under $100,000, whichever is greater, the 10% or $10,000 minimum fees. Also, they lock you into contracts. You will sign a listing agreement for 6 months to a year. And what that means to you is if you cancel, you can be subject to a cancellation or penalty as high as a 10% commission due. The other thing to watch out for is a lot of times we have sellers that will find a buyer by word of mouth through one of their accounts or through the company themselves. If this happens and you're listed with another broker, basically you are still obligated to pay that 10% commission because you're under that listing agreement with them. So even though they had no process or of procuring the buyer, you're still going to be obligated to pay that fee. With that said, that's how 99% of the brokers out there, and you can use that information if you're ever buying a home. The real estate agents usually operate the same way, like I mentioned. That stuff's in the standard contracts and listing agreements. It's up to you to kind of discover. They're not going to necessarily point that stuff out to you. So with that said, here's what we do differently. First and foremost, we are 8.99% of the selling price, or $8,900 is our minimum fee, whichever is greater. Bottom line, we are at least 10 to 20% cheaper than any other broker nationwide. The other thing we do is we give you the flexibility to sell on your own. So that previous scenario I mentioned where you find your own buyer through the company or one of your accounts by word of mouth, as long as they didn't circumvent us and go behind our back, speak with us first, basically you are allowed to sell without paying our commission. You can sell on your own. So we give you that flexibility. If we sell it, we get paid. If we don't, then you owe us nothing. And finally, there are no cancellation fees. So you do sign a listing agreement with us, but bottom line, in that listing agreement, it'll state that you can cancel at any time without penalty. So with that said, we also advertise your site on 12 to 15 sites out there. We actually pay out of our pocket, risk-free, at no cost to you. Again, we're only getting paid if we bring the buyer to closing for you. We also have an extensive email list. You can see that on our website. Future listings, we've had 3,000 to 4,000 people that are currently on that, basically who've raised their hand nationwide and said, hey, let me know if something opens up in my area. Also, our website, you'll be featured on our website as well. And that right now is currently receiving thousands of hits a week and a minimum of 10,000 hits a month. So we're going to throw pretty much everything at it when we go to list it out there. And again, bottom line, this is risk-free. We get paid if we sell it. If we don't bring you the right qualified buyer, then you owe us nothing. And we'll stipulate that in our listing agreement as well. The other thing I like to kind of point out is the experience I have. And basically, it's a generational thing. I've been involved as a realtor. I used to do residential sales as well. So now I'm a business broker. So it's kind of been the perfect storm for me. And I have the experience when pre-qualifying your prospects. With regard to pre-qualifying your prospects, I'm going to vet all of them, make sure they know what's required as far as the day-to-day operations. And I'm also going to make sure they send me financial documentation. If it's a full cash purchase and the company's not offering financing, I'll make sure they have the funds available before I send them over to you. If the companies offer financing, they'll have to meet that minimum credit score, of course, and provide us documentation showing they have the minimum to put down, the difference not financed by the company. So rest assured, when you get a lead from us, they're qualified and ready to purchase. So I know a lot of you have tried to advertise your business probably yourself on Craigslist and have had nothing but 30 to 40 people just kind of being tire kickers, and you don't know if they have the money or not. So that's the difference you get with using a brokerage like us. You're going to know they have the money and they're a serious buyer. Just to give you an idea, for every 8 to 10 people we speak with, we qualify 1 or 2. So this will conclude the selling process. If you have additional questions, feel free to email me or call me. And if you would like to start, let me know and I'll get the listing agreement over. Take care. Have a great day.